What is a profession that you have limitless respect for? End-of-life care and special needs workers. The people who quietly do so much for those in need, where unfortunately some have no family or loved ones to be there for them. Most do it for low pay and receive a heavy mental tax in return. As a nurse, the hospital housekeepers. It's a thankless, underpaid, miserable job, but so critical to patients' health and well-being. Hospice workers. People involved in elder care. They are grossly underpaid. Sewage workers. Janitors, those people are unsung heroes. Garbagemen women. Lest we be buried in our own waste. Electrical line workers. Those men and women go out in the worst temperatures and conditions at any time of night just to get your house its power back. Paramedics. Dispatchers in emergency call centers getting the relevant information out of desperate, shocked people who never gone through it before and panic all the time, and not asking a certain question or deciding the wrong, having disastrous consequences doing this for a living. I'd fail after 5 minutes. Anyone who investigates child sexual abuse of any kind. Agriculture field workers. Just any profession that has to interact with the average person as part of their day. Honestly, people are fucking idiots. Special ed teachers. Hospice staff. Angels. Mental health workers, and health workers as a whole for that matter. Social workers. Dear God, the things they see are soul-crushing sometimes, and for often poor pay and little recognition for their work. Love them. ETA, seeing all the social workers comment is making me so happy. I'm glad I could make you feel seen. I have been helped by social workers countlessly as a disabled person and psych patient, and now as a nurse I get to collaborate with you guys on a professional level, and you are my favorite resource. I hope one day the rest of the world appreciates the work you do. Red Heart Hash. Merchant seamen. People who think products simply appear in stores don't realize that 90% of the world's traded goods are moved by sea. It's a difficult, dangerous and undervalued job, and the world economy would collapse should the sea lanes be threatened by conflict or natural disaster. Sewer workers and sewage treatment plant workers. They work within literal shit all day long. I don't even want to think of where we'd be without them. The veterinarians who do in-home euthanasia. I can't imagine putting beloved pets down all day, every day. But giving my doggo the gift of dying in my bed instead of a cold, sterile vet's office was an unspeakable gift. Anyone who works in the mental health field, social workers, therapists, etc. Garbage men, women. Suicide hotline operators. 911 dispatchers. Doctors of any kind. Social workers, therapists, teachers, people that work at animal shelters. EMT and firefighters. Construction. That shit beats the shit out of your body. Flight traffic or mission control. Heavy equipment and crane operators. I have seen people do such delicate and precise things with machinery that I couldn't do in a lab with tweezers and an eyedropper. NICU workers. Caretakers in nursing homes. I worked in one and could only stomach a handful of months of it. It is the most soul-crushing thing you can do. Working with the dementia patients counts as triple points. Teachers, I could never do their job. ER docs. Doctors in general, but ER docs see an impressive amount of idiots and drunk high people on a daily basis. And they still do their job. I respect anyone who puts in a full day of honest work. Adoption foster care workers. My wife works with foster kids, and the stories she comes home with are truly frightening, and most are just plain sad. So many kids turn 17, age out of the system, and with no one to fall back on, end up homeless or in prison pretty quickly. Librarians, veterinarians, public defenders. Going through all that expensive law school and passing the bar to choose to get paid like shit. Farmer. Once in our life, we might need a lawyer. Twice maybe, a law enforcer, the police. Thrice hopefully not a surgeon. But every day, at least 3 times as it should. We definitely need the food grower. Food service. Teachers and daycare teachers. Especially after having a child and understanding how difficult they are. Doctors and nurses, healthcare workers in general. They are all awesome. Medical personnel, not just doctors and nurses but air ambulances, lifeboats, search and rescue, etc., etc. Massive thanks to them for what they do every day. There's a common thread here: a lot of the professions aren't particularly well paid. Teachers, nurses, paramedics, etc., a backward society. Many professions. Healthcare, social work are really up there though. ATC operators. As a pilot, in my mind they'll never get enough respect for how well they keep us safe. Anyone working in children's hospitals. Those folks save and help so many kids. Source was once one of those kids in need of help. Firefighters, especially hazmat. They're heroes. ER nurses. Not only they're heroes, they're super compassionate. 911 dispatch. Even if I'd love to give it a try, I know it can be brutal and underpaid. Also, they're the ones making sure the first responders arrive. IT forensics. The things they must see in that job and the mad skills they need, also super underappreciated. I know I'd never be able to do it. Engineers and scientists, they are the backbone of a lot of things in society. Teachers and every single healthcare worker. Nurses. I've met all kinds: angry nurses, educated nurses, shitty, entitled nurses. I've never met one who didn't want to save me, so thank you, beating heart. Veterinarians and their assistants. Animal shelter workers or anyone who helps animals. 911 dispatcher operator. Firefighters. They're always on high alert when I drop a mixtape. Pharmacists and pharmacy techs, especially in hospitals, they are the last lines of defense, and to top it off have a lot of their shoulders checking medication to see if everything is alright. Truck drivers. Driving places people don't even like to drive their cars. Big cities, fucked up terrains. Surgeon. My brother-in-law is one, and the knowledge, confidence, and endurance they require to do their job is unparalleled. He often shares pictures of his work with me, most of it in progress, and I am truly humbled by what they do. I feel like anesthesiologists are the unsung heroes of the medical profession. Surgeons get all the credit when an operation goes well, but anesthesiologists are the ones who make the difference between you waking up during the operation, waking up after the operation, or never waking up at all. Hospice nurses. Hospice nurses. Our elder care systems in the US are a disaster in general, but the people who are willing to look after folks at the end, when it's anything but pretty, are next level stars. Whoever crawls into a crawl space, that place is nightmare fuel. NICU nurses. Them people give more than they get day in and day out. Pouring love into so many little